with the final frontier being the limits that we self-impose, our fears, and being afraid of living outside our comfort zone. However, these barriers can be overcome, and we should not limit ourselves to the comfort of our daily lives. To explore more about this topic, I'd like to take you through my personal journey. When I was 14, I was and still am passionate about surfing. I decided to combine this incredible sport with a value that I really cherish, giving back to the community. This is why I created Surf for All, a club which teaches surfing and stand-up paddling to teenagers of determination. These are teens who have Down syndrome. So, originally, this idea seemed quite far-fetched with a multitude of challenges. I was like, how am I going to get surfboards? Are there going to be any teens of determination even interested in this unfamiliar sport? Safety, of course, was a significant concern. There are big waves and maybe someone might even drown. It could be dangerous. Are there going to be any or enough volunteers interested and willing to participate in this activity? But even with all these frontiers blocking my path, I decided to give it a shot. My first initiative was to find a company which would be willing to lend me some surfboards. Let me tell you that the first company's response was not at all as cooperative as I had expected, or as I had hoped. They told me that it was too much of a responsibility, and in different words, that this idea was going to stay an idea. But as any successful actor, professor, or astronaut might say, determination, failure, and risk-taking are all experiences and skills which propel you forward. This led to Surf House Dubai, a surf school and surf shop who, with some convincing, accepted to support the project, and we've been able to borrow their surfboards ever since for free. Moreover, we have All for Down Syndrome Dubai, an organization designed to help organize and promote events and activities for the Down syndrome community, who's been extremely supportive with the project and helped promote it to all the teens of determination. Now the club runs every first and third term. In the second term, the water gets too cold and we don't have enough wetsuits. And we have at every session, we have around 10 teens of determination coming with 15 volunteers to try and get every teen of determination with one volunteer. I feel like every teen and every volunteer, they always are surpassing their personal final frontier at every session. So it starts from the moment that they decide to start this activity and decide to try this new sport. Some might feel scared and unsafe being in the ocean. It's completely different from being in a swimming pool. And some might just be scared of trying new things. I'd like to take you through the journey of one of our teens. Her name is Grace. And, well, when she started this club, it was with unease and nervousness. Well, her mom was kind of worried about her health issues and her lack of social skills. However, by taking the risk and starting this activity, she has grown tremendously, discovering a passion for surfing and living a much healthier lifestyle. As all the volunteers are just so happy to see her progress and become so comfortable now in the water, and just at every session seeing her smile and laughing with all the other volunteers. I feel like now that I want to say that by building meaningful connections and with support from an enthusiastic community, we can always push back our limits. I like also to talk about the volunteers who step outside of their comfort zone and come and interact with different teenagers and give their time to spread happiness and enthusiasm to others. So today I'd like to leave you with my understanding of our final frontier. That before we think about humanity's final frontier, we think about our personal self-imposed limits, and that our limits can always be pushed back and our fears overcome. With determination, self-belief, and risk-taking combined with a supporting and enthusiastic community, our limit is beyond the sky. Thank you.